Hey guys, welcome back. So, as you may have noticed, we didn't post last week. I was sick. She was sick. I was more sick than she was. I don't know how that happened because normally she's the one that gets sick,
It never happens. I'm always the sicker one.
and I'm not. But I got sick, so we didn't end up recording the podcast last week, honestly, which is okay with me because sometimes we need breaks. But before we
And you
get,
need to practice what you preach.
yes, yeah, definitely practice what I preach. But before we get into today's episode, we got another Am I the Asshole, obviously, for you guys. Make sure that you hit that sub button to subscribe and enter for a chance to win a lovely pair of headphones that I do not have behind me right now, but there they are. They are the Raycon headphones. So make sure you do that. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. Care Bear.
Alrighty. This is a good one. All right. Am I the asshole for explaining to my obese sister-in-law why I'm not fat? Quick context. I used to be fat, but lost about 100 pounds a few years ago. Got into fitness and generally watch what I eat, but I like to indulge every once in a while. A bit disordered in the past, but have a handle on it now. Recently, we had a birthday in the family, so we went to a local restaurant to celebrate. Just so happens they have a burger challenge, $40, free if you finish in 60 minutes, about 5 pounds including sides, which I got and quite easily finished, to be honest. You thinking about that burger?
I could do that.
Because I felt I have been quite good with my nutrition for some time, and I'm not particularly looking to cut more fat right now. Even ordered dessert after, mostly for comedic effect, but still. The whole time I was eating, I noticed my sister-in-law, who was quite obese, giving me strange, almost disgusted looks. While I enjoyed my dessert, my brother said something like, "I can't believe you finished all that and are still eating," with a smile and sort of an impressed way, to which his wife, said sister-in-law, added, "Yeah, I wish I could eat like that, but my genetics won't let me."
Oh, God.
I put down the fork and said, "I can eat like this sometimes because 95% of the time I don't. Well, you have small indulgences every day, which piles up. Has nothing to do with genetics. It's your choices." She got quiet and actually, can you calm down? I'm trying to read. You're distracting. She got quiet and actually shed a tear at the table, which did, of course, make me feel bad. But she and my brother have now been ignoring me, and my sister actually told me I shouldn't have said it and apologize. I would do so for hurting her feelings, but what I said was factually correct. So, am I the asshole? Edit. From what I've seen already a few times, I didn't make assumptions about her indulgences. I lived in the same house for years and saw how she eats, which is basically the way I ate when I was fat. Meals that are too large, too frequent, and too high in calories.
So go ahead and give your thoughts first, and then I'll share mine.
I think everybody's kind of wrong here. I definitely think that the sister-in-law was in the wrong for making the comment, for not unpacking her own feelings about being fat and projecting that onto somebody else. I think that was really inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that the response at the table was inappropriate. I don't think that she should have done that at the table, but I've also been very frustrated and very triggered and acted on impulse. So I can't totally blame her for reacting the way that she did. Sometimes they're facts and they hurt,
Yeah.
but that doesn't make them any less black and white. So that's kind of a roundabout way to say that I think that they both handled this situation poorly. But the stem of it starts with that sister-in-law not unpacking her own feelings about being fat.
Yeah. I think the sister-in-law is the asshole in this situation. Just making comments in general about what she was eating was uncalled for, and
Yeah, I had an experience once where I was on a vacation. I was extremely uncomfortable. I was still also dealing with a lot of anxiety at that time.
mm-hmm.
And when we were on vacation, I didn't like eat a lot. You know, I ate what I could handle in that time because of the anxiety. It was like making me kind of nauseous.
Right.
And the group that I was with was 2 women, including myself. So 2 women and 2 men.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman actually, like, not to be a jerk, but you would expect it maybe from the opposite sex, not necessarily your same sex, because you're supposed to like have camaraderie and understand each other, right? But
Supposed to.
the woman turned to me and said, "Why don't you eat that much?" And it just like, it offended me and it stuck with me. This story is like 6 or 7 years old. And I'm still just like,
Wait, is this when you went down to Florida?
well, I was trying not to, pinpoint
name dropping
anything.
anybody, but
I'm
you
not
can-
name dropping anything. This
Yeah.
is when I went to Florida. And so like, yeah, we're in Florida and like we're on vacation and things are delicious. We were in Miami. Like Miami is a delicious city. We've since been there together and really enjoyed ourselves food wise.
Yes.
But I don't know. It just really took me back. I was just so offended that somebody felt that they had any right to say anything about my eating habits.
You know, I've seen it happen numerous times. It's happened to me numerous times where
I know it's happened to you. That's why I thought this would be a good one for you to talk about.
it happens so much. You know, I try my best not to really comment on what people are eating or what they're doing or the choices that they make. But 9 times out of 10, I find people are totally okay with saying something about what I'm doing. And I think they probably feel that way because I'm in shape. So they probably in their head are like, oh, he's not going to mind if I make a slide comment about, you know, if he's having, you know, extra cookies or if he's not eating something because he's on a health kick or whatever. Like I get those comments all the time and y'all like, it's annoying. It's annoying as
It gets old.
it gets really old. It gets really old. It's like, you know, mind your business. Like mind your business. I don't say anything to anyone, especially my friends when I'm out with them about what they're eating or the choices that they're making with their food. And, you know, sometimes they don't make the best choices, but I don't verbally say anything to them because it's not my business and it's not their business. If I choose not to have a drink when I go out to eat, if I choose to get the healthier or non-healthier option when I go out to a restaurant, if I choose to get dessert or whatever it is.
Do you remember the time the server dropped off our salads that we were really excited
Oh my
about?
God,
And
the
said,
rabbit food?
"Here's your rabbit
Yo,
food."
So we were down in Massanutten, Virginia on like a little mini vacation, and
We drove down for the day for something.
yeah, it was that freaking stupid timeshare crap. So we got done dealing with these hecklers trying to get us to buy timeshare. They were horrible about it, really pushy.
So what
terrible,
Skylar's
terrible.
saying is he was already in a great mood.
So I was already in a great mood. So I'm like, all right, let's get some food. So we go to Red Lobster because you know Red Lobster's good. And
Knowing that we had like a 4-hour drive ahead
right,
of us too.
so you know we got some food, but we both got Caesar salads. And the waitress, you know,
And that wasn't just what we got too. That was just like the
yeah,
start.
that was the starter.
I
That was
think
the
that
starter.
you got
And
like the
Caesar
Admiral's
salad is huge.
And well, what's funny about the story is we got 2 of like the big platters that they have,
Yeah.
and I think you got the fried one of all things,
I got,
like the Admiral's Feast or whatever it's
yeah,
called.
it was the Admiral's Feast. That's exactly what
It's
I
just
got.
this huge plate of fried food.
And she has the gall to make the comment and be like, enjoy your rabbit food. Meanwhile, listen, like,
And you can tell, like, some of us are emotionally intelligent, right?
Right.
And like we pick up on inflections in tone and weird eye contact, and like the way that she said it was very passive aggressive. Just to clear anybody that's like, well, maybe you just don't know how to take a joke. Like,
nah, it wasn't a joke at all.
It was super passive aggressive.
And regardless, even if it was a joke, you still don't need to say it. It all goes back to just minding your business. It doesn't matter what I'm getting. But anyways, so the Caesar salad, it's not like your typical small Caesar salad. Like it's a big giant bowl, and they freaking fill that thing up with
I remember
cheese.
it had like a block of cheese
block
per
of cheese
salad.
and the freaking
A bottle of dressing
the
per
bottle
salad.
of dressing on it and the croutons. Like y'all, that was easy.
50
like
croutons per
a 900.
salad.
Like if I had to guess, I'm guessing off the top of my head. I may be completely wrong about the caloric intake on this thing, but if I had to guess, it was at least like 6, 7, maybe 800 calories of a salad.
That was our starter.
That's rabbit food, and that was our starter, right? So it keep comments to yourself when it comes to whatever anyone is ordering when they're out to eat, no matter what size they are or anything like that. Going back to the sister-in-law, like, don't even get me started on the genetics crap. I wish I could eat like that, but I can't because of genetics. Like, get out of here with that crap. A lot of people try to use genetics as an excuse. And don't get me wrong, like it does play a part in where your body's going to store fat and cravings, and like it does play a part. I'm not knocking that at all. But if you have a twin sister or a biological, if a brother, sister, whatever it is, and one person is obese and the other person is normal weight, it is not genetics. It is lifestyle and their eating habits, and that's all there is to it. I do agree with you that the sister shouldn't have made any comments about like the small indulgence and stuff like that, but those were facts. Like a lot of people overeat without realizing it because they're slowly eating stuff throughout the day and it adds up over a period of time and they don't realize it, blah, 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 blah. And then they end up putting on weight. But yeah, that was a good one. That was, that was a good one. So she told me a little bit of it before because I just wanted to know like the gist of the TLDR.
I didn't
what
tell
it
him
was.
about the genetics.
But I didn't know that the genetics played a part or anything like that with what the sister said. So when she said that, I was like, oh, okay. And like I said, like I do get a lot of comments. I'm sure you guys do a lot too, where you may, especially with the with fall coming around, there's going to be Thanksgiving and Christmas. Normally, there's a lot of goodies and treats involved with this time of year. I guarantee you, I know you guys probably get comments when you go for family dinner. If you're going to go for a second plate, maybe even a third plate, someone's going to say something to you, and just. Honestly, if I were you, I would just ignore them or
really consider like impact versus intention.
Right.
So I think the intent in this Am I the Asshole story was, the girl that had lost her weight and was eating this burger challenge. Like, I don't think she intended to hurt the sister-in-law's feelings. It was probably a knee-jerk reaction for her to say what she said.
Yeah.
But the impact was way more lasting. Because now the sister-in-law might even be more discouraged to lose weight, because that happens.
Or she could be encouraged.
Sometimes
I don't know.
She could be, but she definitely could also be discouraged. Or I just think that there was a better way to handle that with kindness. I mean, obviously, I don't execute that perfectly in my own life, but I think it's just nice for us all to remember that there's a way to talk to people. And sometimes the way we talk to people.
But I also wonder, too, if this is the first instance of sister-in-law making a comment about her food choices or whatever she's eating when they go out to eat together. You know what I mean? Like, this could have...
It could have been, the fifth, sixth, seventh time. If it were me, I would pull her... Shut up. I would pull her aside.
I'm just thinking
at
about
some
what
point.
I would say if someone...
Oh, that was... Okay. I would pull her to the side at some point, or actually knowing myself, I would probably write a letter. But I would try to find a way to say, you're making me uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry that my existence, for whatever reason, has made you uncomfortable, but you are now making me uncomfortable, and that's not okay. And what do we have to do to fix this situation? Because you don't get to talk to me like that in front of people. Like, there's a way to be firm, but there's also a way to be kind. And that's all I'm saying. But I think you and I both agree that the issue stems from the sister-in-law saying something in the first place, not unpacking how she
got a lot
feels
to unpack, yeah.
about being fat. And yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts on that? Definitely let us know. And yeah, I just I agree with you, but I don't ultimately the sister-in-law is the asshole. What was the verdict on there? Like, was she the asshole or what? Like,
let's find out. Let's find out.
I'm interested to know.
Oh, so a lot of people, it looks like they're actually saying that she is the asshole because of how she spoke back to the sister-in-law.
She is the asshole?
I'm just telling you what I see.
Wait. So go, because normally at the top they have it like if they're the asshole or not. Is it like marked as asshole? Or does it not show?
It doesn't show.
How is she that one?
It doesn't show.
That'll make no sense.
All right, so let me read this one to you. It said, yeah, it was the end quote to this, which makes you an asshole. You don't need to give an opinion on why you think she's overweight. It's entirely unnecessary. I've been skinny my whole life, and I've never felt the need to tell anyone else how to achieve my physique. You seem proud of the hard work you put in to lose weight, and you should be. Doesn't mean you get to judge her habits and sanctimoniously tell her how to behave. Did I pronounce that correctly? I hope I did.
You probably did.
Why do you care that she's fat? Do you see her? Well, it's not that she cares.
No one cares. Okay.
It's not that she cares. It's that she is responding to something that was said to her. Why do you care that she's fat? Do you see her as the physical embodiment of all the excuses you used to make, or do you just like feeling superior?
Yeah.
Being factually correct doesn't stop you from being an asshole. I'm just being honest as an excuse used by people when they want to be rude.
Is that the top comment?
Yeah.
What the?
I actually do agree with the last thing that she said here. Being factually correct doesn't stop you from being an asshole. I'm just being honest as an excuse used by people when they want to be rude.
That I can agree with. Everything else, no. Like I feel like that commenter is projecting a little bit. Like she didn't care that her sister-in-law was fat. She's responding. She's reacting, obviously not in the best way, but she's reacting to the situation that was presented to her by her freaking sister-in-law who made a comment about the food that she was eating. How is she the asshole?
I just read to you what it said. This is a pretty new one, so it might not. Did you freeze? So
it doesn't make no sense to me.
This was 16 days ago. Yeah, I don't see. What's this? All right,
just do me one more favor. Just read the second highest comment. I'm just interested. I want a different perspective on this now. If you can find one.
I can eat like this sometimes because 95% of the time I don't. If you had stopped here and
focused, her response?
No, this was a quote. Okay. This is an actual quote from the Am I the Asshole? I can eat like this sometimes because 95% of the time I don't, end quote. And then this person said, if you had stopped here and focused on how you actually lost weight, you wouldn't be the asshole. Instead, you turned it back around on her and her choices, which was kind of uncalled for. She should not have made that comment about you, though. I mean, that's basically what I said.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some underlying things there that have nothing to do with weight, you know? Families are funny. We all have one. We all know what I mean. There might be some underlying stuff there. You know, there's a few fish below the surface that we can't see.
All right, so now I really want to know your guys' opinion because I personally think the sister-in-law was way more of an asshole than the sister was, and
I think that they're both the asshole. So we're not necessarily a house divided. We're just a house that doesn't share.
And you know what? All right. In the commenters, like she is asking, "Am I the asshole?" So of course they're responding directly to her and not to the situation in whole or the sister-in-law, because the sister-in-law is not the OP in this.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what people would comment if the sister-in-law was the one that put in the "Am I the asshole?" And you know, this kind of goes back to the very first one we did about communication. We don't know how the sister-in-law said it. We don't know how the person that lost weight has been acting. I mean, I know people that have lost weight that just act like, you just have no idea what I've been through. And I'm going to go to the front of the yoga class and good luck keeping up with me. Like, I've met people like that. And that's also very, very frustrating.
You have who's?
Huh?
Do I know any of them?
No, this would have been when I was working out before I met you. And I don't want to get too specific, but there was somebody that I used to like. She just drove me crazy because she lost all this weight, which is amazing. And she's kept it off for over 10 years. Mm-hmm. So like, seriously, kudos to her on that.
But she acting like her shit don't stink.
But she was an interesting person to be around when she lost all that weight.
I'll tell you, sometimes when you get into shape, if you're already not a good person, it just brings out the even crappier version of you because you got this newfound confidence, like you're feeling yourself. You're like, yeah, my shit don't stink. I'm on top of the world. When your shit does still stink.
Yeah, like you can practice kindness and work on your mental health while you're working on your physical health. So anyway. So who knows? Maybe that's how this person was acting, you know? I I don't know.
Like high and mighty?
High and mighty. Yeah, I don't know.
The only reason that you're the way that you are is because
You're fat.
you're fat. And 90% of the time, I eat healthy. And the 5% I don't. And you indulge in food all the time. That is why.
Like, here, I'm gonna
You are
look. I'm gonna
fat.
look you straight in the eye right now. So I'm married to a trainer. I'm friends with a lot of trainers. I have a trainer. I used to. At one point, I thought I wanted to be a trainer. Okay, so like trainers, this is me and you right now. We're locked in. Okay, just because you're a trainer and just because you're confident doesn't mean you get to talk like an asshole. Okay, like stop. Please stop.
You know what? I would say that the trainers, but I would just say that to fitness influencers in general.
You know what? You're right. So, trainers, you're not off the hook. But yeah, fitness and fitness influencers, even people that are like in the gym all the time. I actually saw a reel the other day. It was this woman. She was very overweight. She was in her car crying. She had just gotten out of the gym. And we all kind of have the same idea about where that went. Someone said something mean to her, right?
Yeah.
Not at all. Somebody that had been at the gym. I mean, this guy was like jacked. He was there all the time. He was a known fixture in the gym. He wasn't like an influencer. He wasn't a trainer. He was just somebody that was his hobby. And he came up to her at the end of her when she was getting ready to leave, and he said, "Hey, I just want to let you know I'm really proud of you, and you're doing a really good job."
I think Joey Swole's shared something like that. I think and it just.
I mean, it made its rounds. For me to see it, it would have had to have been viral for it to make it all the way to my phone. But acting high and mighty, all I'll say is you're not going to help people the way that you think that you are if you're going to tell them that they need to be embarrassed by their actions, or that they're, maybe you don't actually call them disgusting, but you like insinuate that they're disgusting because they're fat. Like, everybody deserves respect.
That they're lazy, or
because you just don't know.
You don't know what's
you
going
don't know.
on.
They could be experiencing like extreme burnout. There could be an underlying medical issue that they don't even know that they have yet. All I'm saying is
mind your business.
Well, mind your business, but practice kindness. That's all. If I had to sum up this entire podcast, it would be practice kindness.
I feel like every Am I the Asshole is going to go back to either communication or practicing kindness.
Yeah, well,
because
maybe not all of them. Some of them are really crazy. I'll have to dig around and try to find a really crazy one for the next podcast that we do together.
I want to do like a super crazy one.
But I knew that you would be, I don't want to use the word triggered, but I knew that you would get excited at this one, especially because of the genetics comment.
Yeah, it worked.
Woo!
Well, I've been doing this for a while, so I hear that all the time.
Yep.
I hear it all the time.
Oh, you've had some shit said to you.
Yeah,
I know that.
I've had a lot of excuses or just random.
Or people, especially when you were in an office environment, people making you uncomfortable for not like doing the endless potlucks.
Oh, yeah. We used to have potlucks all the time, and I just didn't partake in them all the time. I would have my packed lunch, or I just had an idea of what I would wanted to eat that day, and that was just not part of it. And
it's not that you didn't participate; it was just that you didn't participate in every one.
Yeah, I didn't do every
Or
one.
if you did participate, they'd be like, "Oh, are you sure you can have that?" Because that happened too, didn't it?
It's funny. Like, to this day, even from my friends, I'm not gonna name drop anyone, but you know who you are. But anyways, from my friends, like, they still make comments. They still make comments when I don't, I guess, follow the normal social norm of eating however, they're eating, or, drinking. Since I haven't really been drinking. So I went, and this will be the last story, and then we'll end it here. So it's like a month or two ago. So I've cut back severely on how much I've drank. I didn't really drink that much to begin with, but I just don't really drink as much as I was before. And went out with my buddy to get some food, and we sat down at the bar, and the bartender asked us if she can get us a drink. And I was like, yeah, I just want water. And my buddy got water as well too. And normally sometimes you just start off with water and then you eventually end up getting a drink, but we didn't do that. We kept getting water and we ordered our food. And after a while, she started asking us questions. She's like, "Are you guys hungover? Are you sick? What's going on?" And we both told her we're just not drinking today. Like, we just don't want to have any drink. We just want to have water. So we finish our food, and she comes back around again, and she's like, no, seriously, like, what's going on with you guys? Why aren't you guys getting a drink? And it's just like,
That, can I just interject for a second? So I served for a little over a decade in multiple different like types of positions, bartending, serving, all that different stuff. I would never say that to a guest.
right. And it's just like, and I got annoyed at that point because I'm just like, yo, like, I'm not drinking. Why is that an issue? Why do you have to keep coming back to me
I would
and
never.
asking me if I want to drink when I told you, it's plain and clear that I'm not getting an alcoholic beverage. I'm just drinking water. So just leave it at that. Like
Like, we're in the 2020s. Don't people know by now to just like, if someone's not drinking, okay.
yeah, okay.
I thought that was a thing.
I don't need to tell you a reason why I'm not drinking. You don't need to know why. Just respect the fact that I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. It's that simple. Why do we have to complicate stuff so much? Drives me crazy.
Listen, I hear you. As a female, as a married female who doesn't have children, when I choose not to drink, people are like, "Oh my God, is it time to get little socks?" Like, no, I'm just have some stuff going on.
And then that whole thing too. Like, you have no idea what complications or anything that could be going on in a person's life to consistently ask them when they plan on having kids.
We're lucky. It doesn't happen to us a lot, and I feel like our friends and family are very respectful, but some still slip through the cracks. But anyway, yeah, back to the drinking thing. Like, I totally get where you're coming from. It's very frustrating when you choose not to drink and people feel like they have a right to say something.
People don't have a right to say anything, no matter what's going on.
About your weight, about your food choices.
Nothing.
The only times that people have a right to say something is when you ask them,
Yeah,
or when you hired them to help you.
yes.
Those are the two times where someone has a right to say something to you about your eating habits.
That's it.
But other than that,
So, y'all, I'm giving you full authority to just backhand.
no,
Just backhand them.
no.
Oh, I want your food. I want your beer. Just do that if you need to. But
Well, this was an interesting podcast. I hope you enjoyed us complaining for the last 30 minutes, and I hope the rest of your
complain
day
with us in the comments. No, seriously, like, if any of this stuff that we just talked about today has happened to you, like, yo, just let us know because I'm interested.
Yeah.
And please let me know.
We actually want to talk about it. So
what
please
your thoughts
tell
are
us.
with the sister-in-law, because I personally still think that the sister-in-law was the huge asshole here. I see where the sister could have done her part, stopping at 95%, blah, 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 blah. But
Y'all, he's worked up. You see all these
worked up.
you see all these hand movements.
Worked up. Got me worked up. You're going to trigger me some more. No, I'm just joking. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Y'all stay safe out there. COVID is apparently spreading around like cray-cray. So don't get sick. And don't forget to sub. And with that
Bye-bye.
being said,
Let's Mosley.